Hi, fam. Welcome back to another episode of New Earth Rhythm Podcast. What's so alive in my world right now is the developmental cosmology of human design. Okay, hear me out, whether or not you're into human design or not, or if it's a part of your path. What's so alive in my world where I'm feeling like now is the time to share it. If you're tuning in with my podcast and if you're resonating with my work, this might be a piece that lights something up inside of you and is pivotal to your own unfolding right now in 2026, the universal year number one, which is the first note of the new octave. We're approaching the fire horse energy. This is embodied momentum, embodied movement. And what has clicked for me recently is how human design actually has an evolutionary arc. How there's this massive difference in an evolution from tropical human design and tropical astrology into sidereal human design and sidereal astrology. So let's get into it. This has really clicked for me recently because I'm recognizing that, okay, tropical zodiac, right? It's a man-made wheel. It's 12 equal parts of a pie of the 12 constellations that circle above us overhead. It's man-made drawn lines, man-made time. You know how people are like, time is a construct, like time isn't real. That's not true. Time is real. We are humans. We're born into the world. The world is the time that humanity has created. It is the matrix, right? That's what we're born into. So, because we're born into that, that's like the first layer is time. It's this tropical time, this man-made world that we're living in. So your tropical astrology and your tropical human design is the way that you are interfacing with the distortion, with the matrix, with conditioning. So you can think about your tropical astrology and your tropical human design as the codes that your soul needs to be able to break out of the distortion. Okay, to navigate the distortion. I always say like point A to point B is literally just surviving an unnatural world. If you can get from point A to point B without depression, anxiety, like eradicate yourself of your depression, anxiety, victim consciousness, and your addictions, now you have embodied your design. Because your design that you're born with, your tropical astrology, like me being like, I'm a Pisces sun, my birthday's February 27th, I'm a Pisces sun. These are the traits that really resonate with me, right? My birthday's February 27th, I'm a manifester, I'm a 5/1 creative manifester. This has been me my whole life. This really resonates with me. That is the exact codes that my soul needed to literally like propel me out of the distortion that would inspire me and lead me down this path to be able to transmute collective shadows and personal shadows into my gifts and to dissolve the loops of the distortion of collective conditioning, collective shadow consciousness. Your design is exactly what gets you from point A to point B into alignment. So then once you're aligned, like it took me so long to become aligned as a 5/1 creative manifester when I was finally living and operating in alignment with my design, with my natural energy, how my energy naturally operates. It's like step one is alignment. I finally just like accepted who I was. I finally accepted my God-given gifts and I finally accepted my design. That's like the beginning. It's like, okay, you're aligned. Now it's learning how to operate. Your operational reality now is driven by your true design. This is what embodiment is. This is what rhythm is that I always talk about. It's now co-creating, like learning how to create a life that is in alignment and is on purpose. Because your design is not just like, okay, I accept myself and I accept And I've set up my life so that it feels good and natural to me and how my energy operates and what I'm passionate and gifted about. Like setting up your life to feel good for you. But now it becomes more purpose driven where you allow your purpose to lead your operational reality. You start leading from soul, leading from heart, and building with precision. So, as you start to do this and become embodied, and you've tuned out of the distortion, tuned out of collective victim consciousness, you've awakened your inner sun, you've transmuted fear into courage, lust and addictions into self-restraint and discipline, anger into forgiveness and strength, greed into gratitude and acceptance and patience, ego into humility. Okay, all of that is what the alignment journey is you're transmuting the collective shadows, all the ones I just named, into your own gift, into the gift frequency. That's how you free yourself of shadow victim consciousness, which has kept all of us shackled, limited, and blind. You awaken your inner sun. Now you are wielding your gifts. So now you're wielding your gifts, you're honing your genius. Now you're operating in rhythm with Earth's root frequency, not the man made distortion. So you tune out of collective chaos and stress and reactivity and fear. Okay. You become untouchable and impenetrable by the distortion, by the show, by the spectacle. Okay, because you're so rooted, anchored, aligned on purpose, purpose driven, faith. All of this is faith driven. You literally can't do this unless you have extreme trust and faith in God. Okay. So now you're like learning how to live in rhythm with Earth's root frequency, the natural true rhythms of life and the seasons and the sun and the stars. You stop forcing and you stop pushing and you stop using your willpower in the wrong ways. Okay. But then you align your will with God's. And then that's when you surrender to the creative wave that controls you rather than you trying to control it, you understand that you are an instrument and a vessel for God to get more light into the world through whatever is lighting you up and making you so passionate and whatever you want to create and do. You know at this point that it is coming from God because you've cleared out the distortion and you've cleared out your addictions. You can trust yourself at this point. Okay, so you trust yourself and you're following your inner compass, which is your body's wisdom. Whatever you're lit up about, whatever you're passionate about, whatever is making you feel so alive and so excited and magnetic and electric, you can trust that it is from God and it is how you are consciously co-creating the life of your dreams, which then directly contributes to the betterment of humanity and Earth herself and the new Earth infrastructure. Because whatever sphere of life you're in, whatever system you're in, whether that's healthcare or healing or parenting or tech or beauty, or you're a writer, or you're an artist, or you're a creative, or you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're working in this field, you're working in that field, like whatever field you're in, if you're in AI software development, if you're in programming, like whatever field you naturally find yourself in, you're meant to change that field and that system from the inside out. You become a pivotal piece of the new earth infrastructure. You yourself are new earth architecture. Okay, so as you start operating like this is conscious co-creation. This is when you take yourself seriously as a creator. And whatever you have the urge to create, and whoever comes into your world that, lights you up, and they're a coherent person, and coherence knows coherence, and it's a beautiful collaboration, it's beautiful synergy. You come together as these beautiful puzzle pieces. They need exactly what you got. You need exactly what they got. It's just like it's divine timing. It feels so aligned. It feels inevitable. It feels obvious. It's a part of conscious co-creation. So now, as you have mastered yourself, you've mastered your tropical design, you've mastered your tropical self. Now you start to operate at the coherent frequency that has been there all along beneath the chaos, beneath the distortion that has been a part of you all along. This is where human design, sidereal astrology language comes into play. So, sidereal means true sky. It's like where all of the stars, the constellations, are actually located in the sky and not just on like a perfect carved piece of pie. But for example, like Virgo in the true sky is huge. It takes up like 2.5 slices of pie. And then Scorpio's so tiny, it takes up like a half of one slice of pie. So in the true sky, it shows where the stars are actually located and then where the planets actually are in the true sky, and how that is your true self, your true frequency. And that's like a new layer of time outside of man-made time, outside of tropical time. So once you like master yourself, free yourself of the distortion, now you can step beyond tropical and now you're moving with real like body time, true sky time, true star time. And it's activating the truth that's been there all along beneath your conditioning. So now you start to take on these new traits. You start to become this evolved, like this developmentally evolved version of yourself. So for me, I'm no longer just a 5-1 creative manifester, but in my sidereal human design, I am a creative projector. And it's like it took I'll use myself as an example. Like I needed to escape the distortion and become sovereign. In order for me to become sovereign, I had to really become a manifester. By me becoming a manifester, I literally had to carve out a path for myself in life. It was very aggressive. Like the moves I made felt really aggressive in life, where I had to like push and carve. I see myself as like traversing a dense jungle with like a machete and like cutting down like all the trees in the way to like force my path in life, because what I'm doing now, like the way that this is my career, y'all, like I had to literally like force this path for myself when no one was asking for it, no one was looking for it. I had to push and create a role for myself. So at the end of last year and like all of eclipse season last year was activating me for me to understand my true role in life and like who I really am and what I really actually do for people and companies and brands. I'm like, and so it took me a while to actually be able to name and accept my true identity. And it took my mastery of a manifestor mastery to understand my true role and identity as a coherence architect for new era leadership, as a visionary architect, right? So as I then claimed that role for myself, and then it was the winter solstice, and now it's 2026, first note of the new octave, and living in a higher octave. I am now fully living that role that I created for myself. And the funny thing is, I created that role, I essentially created that role for myself because I was pitching myself to a company, and by me pitching this role for myself to this company, it helped me actualize and solidify my true role. And this company was like not ready for it. They were like, "Holy shit, this is amazing, but like we don't know what to do with this." And I was feeling bummed. I was like, "Oh wow." I was like fully ready, like fully gung ho, fully claiming my true role, and it didn't work out. And then I'm like, "Trust, girl, trust." And then what do you know? Like literally a month or two later, boom, a dream opportunity comes for me to actually now be in my dream role once I claimed it. So now that I've claimed my true role, I'm not just a manifester. Like it took being a manifester to push and carve out my true role in life, to initiate this role for myself. Now that I'm in this role, I am still that manifester. I still hold all of the manifester traits. My aura is still a manifester aura, closed, repelling. It's like I'm my own planet. I'll never like merge with anyone or anything. I am my own planet. But now I've taken on these I've evolved and matured into more traits that are like projector traits, which is being a coherent architect, a leader, a guide, a long term, someone who can stick with something long term and see it through rather than manifestor energy is get in there, initiate, get it moving, and then I move along. Then I keep it moving. Then I go pick up the next thing and the next person and the next thing and the next person, the next business, the next business. But because I've evolved into my projector traits, now it's like, boom, I initiated, I got it going, I carved out a role for myself. Now I have a coherent ecosystem. Now I'm in my projector traits of being a director, a guide, an orchestrator, a coherence architect that I can now see it through. Like I will see it through. I don't have to just be a manifestor and initiate and then move on. Now I can see it through. So I have all of my manifestor traits, and now I have tuned in to my projector traits that have been there all along that were out of reach for me because I wasn't ready for them yet. So it took my manifestor traits to be able to activate my projector traits that then I realized has been there all along. So, sidereal astrology and human design is not a replacement. It's a resonance mirror, a coherence check. It's like your ultimate soul layer signature. It allows you to fuse all parts of yourself. It's like your sidereal human design and astrology is the unconditioned resonance beneath that interface. If tropical human design and astrology is your soul interfacing with the density and with conditioning, then the sidereal is the unconditioned resonance beneath that interface. So as you live in coherence, like I said, point A to point B was like just surviving an unnatural world, right? But then it's like that's only the beginning. Then life really begins. Now you're aligned, now you're embodied, you're actively wielding your gifts, and now you're in coherence. Now, once you're in coherence, now life really begins because you are now a leader. You are a new earth leader. You're the leader of your life. You've reclaimed your energetic sovereignty. Now you can consciously co-create the new earth. You are consciously co-creating the new earth in sovereignty. And now you get to fuse your self-mastery tropical self with your sidereal self who has like been there all along, like guiding you all along. So for me, I'm a Pisces sun in tropical astrology. That made sense for me my whole life. Why I was drawn to everything like mystical, magical, esoteric, different. Um, why I could always like, all the traits of Pisces. You guys know all the traits of Pisces. I don't need to waste time talking about this, but like, um, I had to like fully lean into that part of myself because it led me to weave all of this together. And then I was feeling so limited. Like a couple years ago, I was literally calling myself a spiritual teacher. Like I was saying that human design is a tool to help you with your spirituality, like to come home to your true self. But I was seeing it as this, like, I was using such spiritual jargon, drenching all of my work in this spiritual language, spiritual jargon that was so limiting because it was a persona. It was not the full truth. It was just a stop along the way. I'm not a spiritual teacher. I'm literally a human coherence architect of Earth. Like, how to take all of this and physically build on Earth. It's not some realm that we're like, some higher consciousness realm that we're trying to escape through meditation and higher awareness and try to achieve and like reach some level or some realm outside of like our physical lived existence. Like, hell no. I'm a coherence architect. I teach you how to be the most badass human you can be. I initiate into being your most badass human self. Okay, I initiate you into the frequency of transformation and creation. And then once you are in coherence, I am a coherent architect and I help you operate now in this new earth through this mechanical lens. Okay, so um and then my sidereal sun sign is an Aquarius, which when I first read like heard about sidereal astrology and human sidereal astrology, when I first heard about that a couple years ago and I looked mine up, I was like, Aquarius sun? What? No, hell no, it doesn't resonate. Like I'm such a Pisces, such a Pisces. I'm such a Pisces, right? Then as I'm doing this work the last few years, I'm like, I'm such an Aquarius, like an innovative, ancient future, coherent architect, new earth mechanics, sacred rebellion. I'm such an Aquarius. Like now I truly resonate with my sidereal self. Okay, so feel into this, okay? And then one thing that I want to share as well is that your incarnation cross in human design is a huge indicator about what your evolution is, what your developmental evolution is within your human design. Like as you're moving from tropical into sidereal, your incarnation cross tells you something huge. If you have a left angle cross, which 28% of the population does, then you have a very initiatory arc. Like your life unfolds in these massive like chapters. And you literally cross something. You cross something, you cross a massive initiation, and then you land on the other side, and you're like, I'm just no longer who I was. You become a completely new person. And then as you land on the other side, that's what your coherence is. And then that's how you start operating with your sidereal traits as well. Okay. Then if you have a right angle cross, which like 70% of the population has this, then your evolutionary arc, your initiatory arc, your initiation is becoming less masked, less reactive, and you deepen more into yourself. So your coherence feels like a deepening into who you've been all along. So whereas the left angle cross is like, I am not who I was anymore. The right angle cross is now I have deepened into who I've always been. So that's a big difference. And then like 1 to 2% of the population has a juxtaposition cross. I don't know. I don't know about that yet. I haven't figured that out. If you have the juxtaposition cross and you're lit up by this evolutionary arc, please send me an email. Lisa@alignhouse.com. Send me a DM. Tell me what you think your evolutionary cross is. Um, and tell me how that is showing up in your life. Okay, this is as far as I've got so far, right? So, um, okay, so like for some of us, there's a huge, so those of us, especially with the left angle cross, there is like a huge difference between your tropical self and your sidereal self because you have this massive initiation where you like feel like you've become someone completely new. So for me, like a projector is so different than a manifester, right? That's like totally different. My manifester self helped me cross my initiation evolutionary arc. And then as I've landed on the other side and started to amplify and wield my projector traits, that feels so different from me. That's a massive contrast. But if you have a right angle cross and you are deepening more into yourself, then when you look up your sidereal astrology and your sidereal human design and you compare it to your tropical, it may not be that big of a contrast. You may not feel like it's that big of a difference. It could just look like two different lenses of the same essence. So go look yours up, feel into it, okay? So the left angle crosses, they burn through something. It's all about like resolve, disruption, reform. There's a clear before and after that is built into your life geometry. Your life unfolds in these chapters. And then there is a moment of landing, completion, and a turning point. So for me, like I knew 2025, all those eclipses, I knew it was the biggest threshold of my entire freaking life because I could feel, I didn't have the language for it just yet, but I could feel that I was literally completing my initiation arc of my incarnation cross. that it was the most important moment of my entire life. And it lasted like literally all year. And it was amplified during the eclipses. And then literally by winter solstice 2025, I was like, holy shit, like I am not who I was. And I have created my dream life. And I have literally like carved out my true role in life, my true path in life. And I fucking did it. Like I was like, I did it. Holy shit. Like I did it. Like I had this moment of like pride and humility where I was like so proud of myself for being relentlessly devoted to this path, to making money with and for my gifts, for creating a role that was 100% in alignment with my truth, refusing to work jobs that I hated, refusing to compromise, refusing to just go along with life, refusing to just roll over and take it. I literally was relentlessly devoted to my calling because I have such trust, extreme trust, faith, and devotion, and I'm purpose driven. Okay. And I landed. And then I created a dream role for myself. And here we are 1 month into 2026. And I am like, I've got the coolest shit going on because I have created the life of my dreams. I've created the role of my dreams. I am in awe. I'm in gratitude. I pray. I praise multiple times a day because I'm like, pinch me. This is crazy. Like, there's no time to even like acknowledge how crazy it is because I have so many things that I'm creating and so many things that I'm working on and so many collaborations. I'm saying this to inspire you. I'm saying this to uplift you. I'm saying this to show you that this is real, that everything you guys have been tuning into from the start of my podcast 2 years ago has been leading to this of me being a coherent new earth leader in my role completely. And now finally, like properly making money with and for my gifts. Okay. So unlocking my abundance and prosperity. So, and now if you have the right angle cross, the right angle, this is like a personal destiny arc. You don't complete a sort of karmic mission in the same way as a left angle cross does. You express a theme across your whole life. There's not a finish line in the same way. The work is not to resolve something and then move on, but it is to become purely more oneself over time. And then you have like completed your initiation arc when you are fearlessly and courageously, consciously co-creating and letting God move through you into the world. Okay. So this is the developmental cosmology of human design. When you are doing this for yourself, you look up your tropical human design. You need to first master that part of yourself. You need to master that. That is your core. That is always with you. Even when you come into coherence and you're consciously co-creating, like I said, you still have that part of you is still there. It's fully operational, but now you also get to tap into these new gifts. You get to wield these new gifts that are your true coherent self. These are like literally now it's like your superpowers. Okay, so look at your tropical human design. That is your map of self mastery. That's how you set up structures in your life to support your unique energy. Look at how your energy operates. Then you set up the habits and the routine and the schedule to support your unique energy, to support your health. Okay, first it comes physical alignment. You need to cleanse, you need to detox, completely free yourself of the distortion. We are literally attacked on every level possible by the distortion. Physically, they give us poisonous food, water, they poison our air. Everything's filled with pesticides, heavy metals, plastic, bullshit. They're poisoning us. You need to do a cleanse and a detox, 9-day cleanse, just fruits and vegetables, juicing. Go to my go to my New Earth Rhythm Circle community. I have all resources, free resources in there to help you cleanse and detox. Take care of your physical health first. You start eating organically in alignment with your energy and in alignment with your doshas. You take back your physical health. You sweat a lot, sweat very frequently, and have a consistent workout routine. Okay, then you'll be sleeping better. Now you're a clear vessel. Then you take care of your emotional health. You need to be so aware of your life. This is how you do it. You literally you wake up in the morning and you say, God, please give me the strength to be consciously the observer of my life today. I do not want to unconsciously react throughout the day. Okay. So then the whole day gets your full conscious awareness. Anytime you are feeling provoked, if something provokes you and you have an emotional response, an angry response, you pause. Say, why is this provoking me? What is really beneath the words that I'm hearing? You start to unravel the layers and you get to the core wound. The core wound. What is being provoked? Is it a childhood trauma? Is it a collective fear? Is it a conditioned trait you learned from your parents? Like whatever, right? You start to get to the core wound. Then you name it, you speak it out loud, it loses its power over you. Same thing if you're feeling fearful or if you're feeling anxiety. You say, what is provoking this feeling within me? And how can I limit it? Get off your phone. Stop scrolling. Stop talking about politics. Stop engaging with people who are fear mongering, whatever. Like, do what you got to do to protect yourself. The most important thing you can do is to protect yourself. Okay. So you start to look at what is provoking emotions within you. You start to heal emotions and come into clarity. Then you heal the mental layer of the body by looking at how all of the ways you are making these unconscious decisions through your life. Then you look into your human design and look at your authority. How are you literally designed to make decisions that are in alignment with your highest self? Is it a gut response? Is it your creative wave where something just feels like inevitable and like everything was leading to this? And that's the moment that you know it's time to make a good decision that's in alignment once you've given yourself time to think it through. Do you have a splenic authority where you get instantaneous intuition when you're presented with an offer, an opportunity, a person, place, or thing, or a decision to be made? Instantly, your body tells you. Does it come in like a lightning bolt or does it come in like a whisper? But your body tells you instantaneously what is right for you. And the longer you stall and the longer your mind tries to make sense of it and rationale with it and think it through, you're just hurting yourself. Trust that you are designed to make instantaneous decisions and your body is guiding you instantaneously. Okay. Do you have a will authority where your wants, whatever you really, really deeply want, that is your higher self guiding you through your life? Do you have a self-projected authority? By speaking out loud and hearing your voice speak out loud, it's like you have a ball of yarn that's within your body that is your truth. And by allowing yourself to speak out loud, you're like pulling that yarn out into this linear sentence. And that is how the truth is revealed. Your voice will literally speak your truth about what decision is right for you. And all you need is a sounding board, a person you love and trust to be there to listen and receive your truth without telling you what to do and without influencing you, but a safe person to receive your own insight and you hear it in your own voice what is right for you. Or do you have a mental authority where you sit in silence and you meditate and you trust your cognitive process is guiding you in life? This is a rare, small, like 1% of the population has this. They're the only people on earth where I say, like, yeah, you can trust your mind's voice when it comes to making a decision. 99% of us do not trust your mind when you're early in this, when you're trying to come into alignment, when you're trying to self-master, don't trust your mind to tell you what is really meant for you in life because your mind only knows what it knows. Your mind is an instrument trapped within the distortion. Your body holds all of the wisdom. Your energy centers are connected to greater wisdom, greater sources of wisdom beyond your scope of understanding. So you learn how to trust your body. You start to experiment with this. You hone your inner authority. That's your inner compass. Then you experiment with it. You follow your inner compass and you think about all of the times you didn't follow your inner compass and how you got burned. And then you get real proof for yourself. And you say, I never want to do that again. I want to follow my inner authority. I want to follow my inner compass. Okay. And then you find your purpose, you become purpose driven, and you follow that through to the very end. Then you wield your gifts, you're aligned, embodied, consciously co creating, and now your coherence comes online. You can tap into your sidereal gifts. Okay, I hope this was helpful. This is definitely going into my New Earth Rhythm Mystery School for when you complete the Mystery School and you want to actually become a teacher. Like if you want to go through my teacher training program, where if you want to teach human design, if you want to weave this into your work, this is a huge part of it. All right, sending you guys so much love. That is all. Peace out.